So much to talk about from this game, but look, let's get straight to it. I think because we are now past halfway, right? 21 games gone for Liverpool, 5 points good at the top of the table. I asked you this question a few months ago, who's going to win the league? You said Arsenal. And you were firmly fixed on Arsenal. Man City at the time had fallen away. Where are Liverpool now? Can they? Will they? Who do you think is going to win the league?
Yeah, Liverpool certainly can. I think that they have been brilliant. And what's happened again, in the absence of Mohamed Salah, they have found an answer. They have a rhythm. They have a way of surviving without Mohamed Salah. I remember a few years ago there was a similar issue. How will Liverpool cope without Mane and Salah?
Yeah.
And they came up with an answer. Jota was the answer then. Now they've done it again, and again it's Jota. But also the devastatingly ruthless finishing of Núñez. You know, there was a time very recently where I thought he didn't have that ruthless streak. I thought he could be a good player for Klopp. I thought he could do a job for Liverpool. But not this. He demonstrated a ruthless eye for finishing that Mohamed Salah would have been proud of.
Yeah.
So now they are embarking upon a very tricky period in their season, because not only are they coping without their best player, but they're also coping with a lot of injuries. You know, they don't have the creativity of Trent Alexander-Arnold at the moment. There's obviously Endo was out, Szoboszlai was out. So the fact that they've gone away from home and won in the manner that they did, I think it's a statement of intent from Klopp and Liverpool.
Couldn't agree much more. Look, by the way, on Núñez, 10 goals, 10 assists so far this season. Look, they're not record numbers, but that's solid. That's solid from a team that have so many players going forward that, you know, share the goals about. So for one player to have 10 and 10, considering that he is a bit up and down, is solid. And I'm happy that you mentioned the other players, because I think we will focus on Mo Salah being away, rightly so, best player in the team. No Robertson who starts. Endo now starts. Szoboszlai now starts. Trent starts as well. That's a lot of starters.
And despite all that, it's what, 6 wins in 8?
Yeah.
6 wins in 8. Like, it really is impressive. And I think
one dodgy defeat all season.
One defeat.
Dodgy.
Yeah.
Say dodgy.
Well, no, I agree. It was total robbery. It was worse than dodgy. It wasn't... Dodgy implies that there's actually some sort of comeback. It was nothing but theft. It was nothing but outright theft. They certainly shouldn't have lost that game. They didn't deserve to lose that game. They were robbed. The VAR story that day will live forever. It was atrocious. So, by some reckoning, you could almost argue that Liverpool are unbeaten this season. They're the only unbeaten team. So there is something spectacular going on. And the fact that Núñez is demonstrating this predatory instinct that I didn't necessarily think he was capable of.
He's just a bit of a problem for defenders, isn't he? Because he is strong, he is fast, he's unpredictable. I don't know if he knows what he's going to do. And I don't know how you mark a defender that, if he doesn't know what he's going to do, how do you know what he's going to do? Why can't Liverpool win the league? Let's play that game.
I mean, there's one obvious answer.
No, I'm talking... Not City. City's the obvious answer.
That's the answer.
In terms of Liverpool's squad, why can't they?
Nothing.
Okay, cool.
Nothing. The reason why Liverpool won't win the league if they end up not winning the league is nothing to do with them. Their points accumulation will be a tally that is capable of winning the league and is worthy of winning the league.
Again.
The only reason that they won't win the league will be because of the brilliance of Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. The only reason they won't win the league could easily be 3 words: Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
That's what it could become. But in terms of what Liverpool can do this season, I think we've seen that regardless of the personnel, regardless of the conditions, regardless of the injury crisis, regardless of anything, Jurgen Klopp is a genius. And the way that he's working his squad, like we saw that Bradley come on yesterday.
Yeah.
Like,
I could see.
He's making so much out of his squad. He's rotating perfectly. He is doing everything right. And this is why I think it's very easy to argue that Pep Guardiola is the best manager in the world for obvious reasons. But it is very easy to make a case that if you did it in a pound-for-pound way, the answer is Jurgen Klopp. So it's going to be very interesting now, because at half-time, I think Bournemouth were arguably at least the better team, certainly worthy of a point at half-time.
And look, Bournemouth a good team, by the way.
Bournemouth
a good team. In terms of form teams of the Premier League right now, they're one of the form teams of the Premier League. To go there and put 4 past them, having, as you say, been 0-0 at half-time, going in as the happiest side, Liverpool, because they've almost got away with it a bit in the first half, says a lot. You know, there's been this talk about if Arsenal want to win the league, they've got to go and get Ivan Toney, right? Ivan Toney will help them win the league or propel them at least up into contention. Do Liverpool need to do anything in this window? Or is maybe the performances of Endo and Konate at the back kind of maybe put sort of those
and the kids that are getting
down?
involved as well? I don't think so. I don't think there's an obvious signing that needs to happen.
That's crazy, isn't it then? that we don't need to actually do anything in the window.
It just shows you the importance of a brilliant manager, because a brilliant manager will come in and elevate the performances of the players that are available. Like, this is something that really frustrates me about Pochettino. Needs to spend. Surely the responsibility of a manager, first and foremost, is to manage. It's to manage the players at your disposal and to help them find better form and elevate their performances, and along with that, elevate the team. That is what Jurgen Klopp has in abundance, in a way that isn't really comparable to anyone. I mean, Guardiola you could bring up, Ferguson, of course, Jose Mourinho, but in terms of managers around now, turning, the way that Jose Mourinho would turn a raw player into the best in class.
Yeah.
That's
what Klopp does.
Klopp does.
That's kind of what Klopp does. Yeah, that's their similarity, isn't it? In terms of that. Look, Klopp's got a bit of an issue, and it's a good issue to have, right? I mean, if Salah does come back and slot straight back in, and Salah will always start on the right side if he's fit, even if he's half fit, he starts. With Jota doing what he's doing now, and Darwin Núñez doing what he's doing, and you got Diaz and Gakpo, who is the front three going forward? If everyone's fit, what does he do going forward? It's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have, but what's happened is, and I can't believe that I'm saying this, is Darwin Núñez is making himself undroppable. I always felt like he was the weak link.
That's the start, yeah.
He's now undroppable, because what we saw from him, you know when he usually scores goals, the way that we see him scoring, it's like brute strength, power, blazing it home. Not necessarily cute, intelligent finishes. Whereas one of those goals, particularly against Bournemouth,
the first one, yeah,
like that was a cute. Dennis Bergkamp would have been proud of a finish like that.
It's almost like when he doesn't have to think. Like when he doesn't have to think, that ball from Jota's nice. It's like, okay, this is it. I've just got to go. When he has to have a touch and a touch and a touch, like even the second one from Gomez's long pass, and it's just like outside of the boot. Don't think. It's when he thinks there's a problem.
Yeah. What he needs to do, Núñez, is build on this, because this is I think that kind of finishing is the best I've ever seen him display.
I thought the Newcastle was good. Remember the
Newcastle was good. Yeah. It was ruthless, but it was very Darwin Núñez like.
Yeah.
In on the last shoulder,
bang,
bad defending, pinged it in. This is different. It's a side to him that perhaps we haven't seen before, and I think he's been very unfortunate at times. He's obviously suffered a lot of ridicule. People have compared him to Andy Carroll, and that's
what
ludicrous.
The Bournemouth fans were singing.
He's also very unfortunate because he arrived at the same time as Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
And the comparison was there for all to see. Obviously, it's Liverpool versus City, it's Klopp versus Pep, it's Haaland versus Núñez, and that didn't.
And the price tag didn't help either.
The price tag didn't help. But this is a wonderful situation for him to be in. He just needs to build on this. But if he does, if Liverpool is still riding high, towards the top of the league, when Salah comes back, that's going to send shivers down the spine of Pep Guardiola, genuinely. Because I think Pep Guardiola and City fans will be very happy when it's Arteta they're chasing. I think that they would say, in fact, that they would rather chase Arsenal with a 10-point cushion rather than chase Liverpool on equal points.
I think I said this to you. I think I tweeted, maybe towards the back end of last season, I think when Arsenal lost after having won 5 in a row, I said, this ain't going to do it. Like this City and Liverpool team, when they're on song, they're winning 10, 11, 12 in a row. Not drawing, not going unbeaten, winning.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. If Pep's chasing Liverpool, he will know, the history says it, this Liverpool team can go for them toe-to-toe. They can match them.
Yes.
Whereas Arsenal, we haven't seen that yet.
No. I think, and also what we're seeing here is with this Liverpool team, they are looking like a team that believe they can win. Like, say you pick somebody random here. Look at the form of Joe Gomez.
Mate, what's going on there?
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's quite a good example, though, isn't it? Just
Great
to show
example.
the belief.
To
show the belief. So we could always focus on Jota's finishing, and we could have a conversation about how good he is at finishing if you want. Or we could talk about Darwin Núñez landing and doing what he did. Szoboszlai's coming in for a lot of praise. We can talk about but mate, look at Joe Gomez. What on earth is going on there? And then the form of the kids.
What on earth is going on?
It's true though, isn't it?
You know what's funny about the Joe Gomez thing? And I spoke to Jeremy at the top of the show before you came in, and I said it's almost by luck now and default that Liverpool defensive have got better because there's a third centre back there. So yes, he's playing as a left back and a right back, but ultimately he's a centre back.
Ultimately, he's a defender.
He's a defender.
He's a big defender who loves a challenge.
Very akin to a Kanji.
Yeah.
And then them sort, it's very likely, isn't it? Ben White, Arsenal, you've got 3 centre backs there. Liverpool, all of a sudden, they've got Konate, Van Dijk, and Gomez.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yes.
Good luck getting past that. So we're going to win it or not?
I've never felt like you're more likely to win it than I do now. I still don't think you will, but it's getting closer and closer. Do you know what as well? I made a bit of a ricket at the beginning of the season where I basically said Liverpool won't win the league.
Yeah, and you said Arsenal will. There'll be so many Liverpool fans that are watching this right now on your channel and will be saying, yes, he's not picking us, good.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, when you do pick teams, they don't go and do it. So
mate,
just stick with
that's
us.
misleading.
No, it's not.
I'm the king of predictions. I've got one wrong. Only one.
And that one will stay with you for the rest of your life.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.